We'll solve an applied problem now. A strip of taffy 9/10 meter long is cut into 12 equal pieces. What is the length of each piece? We'll use the 5-step problem solving process. The first step is to familiarize ourselves with the problem situation. Now here what we have is something that's 9/10 meter long and we're cutting it into 12 equal pieces, and so we'll name a variable to give the length of each piece. And let's call that L. So we'll say let L equal the length of each piece. The next step in our process is to translate to an equation. And what we have here is dividing 9/10 by 12. So we'll just write a division equation. We'll say that L is equal to 9/10 divided by 12. So this is our equation. The next step in the process is to solve the equation. Remember, we have L equals 9/10 divided by 12. And to do the division, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 12. So this is 9/10 times 1/12. I'm going to multiply numerators and multiply the denominators. And now I'm going to see if this can be simplified. And when I look at 9 and I look at 12, I see that they each have a factor of 3. So I'm going to start by writing 9 as 3 times 3. 10 has factors of 2 and 5, and there are neither of those factors in the numerator, so I can just keep 10 as it is. And I'm going to write 12 with a factor of 3. I'm going to write 12 as 3 times 4. And now I can write 3 over 3 times what's remaining in the numerator and the denominator. In the numerator I have 3 times 1, and in the denominator I have 10 times 4. 3 over 3 is equal to 1, so I have 1 times this expression, which just gives me that expression, 3 times 1 over 10 times 4. And multiplying in the numerator, I get 3, and in the denominator, I get 40. So the solution is 3 over 40. The next step in our process is to check that solution in the original problem. And let's look at it this way. If I have 12 pieces of taffy, and each one of them is 3/40 meter long, then the total length of taffy that I have is 12 times 3/40. So let's do this multiplication and see if we come out with the original amount of taffy that we had, which was 9/10 of a meter. Multiplying in the numerators, I have 12 times 3, and in the denominator I have 40, or we could think of it as 1 times 40. Simplifying, I look at 12 and I see that it has a factor of 4 and 40 has a factor of 4. So I'm going to write 12 as 3 times 4, and then I have another factor of 3 in the numerator. And I'm going to write 40 as 4 times 10. I can pull out the 4s. I have 4 over 4 times 3 times 3 over 10. 4 over 4 is equal to 1, so I'm left with 3 times 3 over 10, or 9 over 10, which is the original length of the piece of taffy we started with, so the answer checks. And now all that remains is the 5th step, which is to state the answer in a sentence. The length of each piece of taffy will be 3/40 meter.